This is the one of the movies that does make me think. Even though you really want to be alone, will being alone actually improve your psyche or totally make you have a mental breakdown? Chase Liaki here with Blue Futon reviewing Outpost. So, what is this about? Pretty simple premise. There's a girl that was completely beat up by her husband and or boyfriend, which I really don't know that. But to get out of this psyche of the city, she says, "You know what? I'm gonna go to Idaho and work in an outpost for 3-ish months just to clear my head and look at the land." However, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, no, no. And now all of a sudden, are there fires coming? Who's this lady? Who are these campers? Who are these neighbors? Who is her best friend? What is going to happen to her? So, did I like this film? You could tell a lot of people were comparing this to The Shining, which I could kind of see it, but then I could kind of don't. But I do think this is a very interesting movie, which makes you think like, it tries to paint people bad, but most people are probably not as bad. But this girl is just so messed up. She sees things. She does bad shit. Let's put it that way. It is a very interesting movie, and I do think I overall enjoyed it, even though it was very a sporadic movie. Yes, it was a 90-minute movie. The pacing was amazing. I mean, it kept you entertained. You knew exactly what was going to happen. I think the actors were pretty well done in this film. I do think, it was a little forced on some, themes, if you want to put it that way. Yes, I understand the themes of like if someone's been abused, they're gonna have like a mental breakdown every once in a while. But it's also one of the things where it's like not all dudes are bad, or all dudes have to be like sexual. That's what really bothers me in a movie is like if two people are just, hiking, two friends are hiking, I doubt, I really, really doubt, I'm just gonna put it that way, that the dudes are gonna be like just saying all sexual stuff here and here, like, oh, I'll meet you somewhere, or it's like are people really like that? That's where I struggle with life on some levels. Now I'm gonna get like hypothetical and like maybe deep down. Like yes, I understand some dudes are freaking weird. You know, I've talked to girls that are on dating apps and they're like, yeah, some dudes are fucking pervs. I completely understand that. I do. But what's the percentage? I just want to know that. Come on, I just want to. That's my own personal, what ifs, because that was the same thing with this movie where you have one guy who I could have sworn was gay, but maybe not, was taking pictures of her ass. Then you have the two campers doing something. The only ones that were doing okay were this guy living in a cabin who wants to be by himself and the main ranger, if you want to put it that way. Even the storyline of the, guy living in the woods, I think I knew what it was, but then I think I don't know because it's one of those things where you go, is it all in her head? Is it not all in her head? And I do like the landscape of this film. I do think that it's peaceful. It reminded me of a video game called like Watchfire or something where that is your job is to be an outpost. And being in that, I mean, be a volunteer for 3 months, it's pretty badass and or pretty just, relieving or what you think it is because if you're mentally not stable, maybe it's not the best place for you to be. Uh Negatives of this film, like I said, I kind of already said some of the writing wasn't the greatest. It felt a little forced on some scenes. I do think the movie itself, plays tropes from other movies, which I don't care. That's not a negative. I'm just saying that in general for this film. This one's a hard one to film without spoiling it and like kind of like give into it. I do think when the gore comes into play, it is really, really good. Actually, it's subtle, yet it works, and there are some good elements to it. Yeah, it's one of those movies where you watch it though, you enjoy it, but you feel like there's something missing or there's just something not it's not like satisfying to conclude with this film. I think that's what it is. There's no satisfying ending for some of these characters where it's like, oh, this person did this, and we still are trying to feel sympathetic to her. I think at a point these movies do that, and they did it with A Day and a Half, that hostage movie I just watched, and same with this one. And that kind of did not give me the warm and fuzzy. But overall, Outpost, it is a solid movie. A quick hour and a half. I guess I don't know. I don't know what to say about this movie because I've never been abused that way, and so I don't know what goes on in people's psyches that way. So maybe I doubt it would be normal to turn. No, I can't spoil the movie. Nope, 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 nope. Let's give you the score because there's a lot of dive deep into this about, where she goes. And she goes places. She goes places. The Outpost will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futon. It was at 60%. Let's see the critics news scores gave this one. So have critics say 68% with 28 of them. Audience score 56% with fewer than 50. No critic consensus. All right, you made it this far. I'm gonna spoil it. I'm not really gonna spoil it, but here's some spoiler-esque things. All right, she gets to the mountain, right? And then she kills 2 hikers out of no reason, eats some, murders the camper, the guy in the cabin, which I don't know if he murdered his wife or don't know, and I don't know if that other cop was hiding it. I don't know. The ranger must have done something in the past that almost burnt down the whole town, so he's, like, very strict. Then friend tries to help, but she just goes fucking in a mental state. I just don't know what clicked with that mental state to occur, because it felt like she was doing good the first month and a half, but the last month and a half, it just went completely downhill spiral for her. So I don't know. There was a spoiler, so that's where I was, like, at the very end of the film, is did no one check on her? Because I think the whole point of this film was like, you know what? Check on her. She's been lying about, I want to say lying. Yeah, we'll say lying about fires occurring and everything like that. So it's just like, due diligence wasn't the greatest. But yeah, that's why it's at 60%. Because it goes places, which is kind of interesting. But like I said, she's going to get arrested or goes to a mental hospital. There's no doubt about that. Or prison. If you killed just 2 innocent hikers, yeah, prison. I don't care. I'm not down for you murdering people and going easy. Anyway, we got the 60, 68, 56. Chase Lock here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Butantopia. You Butons have a great day. Now I don't care what you say tomorrow, week from now, month from now, year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. I truly, truly do.